Jesus, obviously the team's coming from a greedy win, right? I mean, it was about just getting that win with a lot of absences. What did you get out of it? What's the feeling like in the locker room?
Yeah, I think the main thing that we can get out of this win was how deep our squad is. I think we have guys from the second team stepping up and training hard every day with us. We got guys that are coming up from maybe not getting a lot of minutes and maybe needing to show. There's some guys that are coming out of injuries, and so there's a lot of pieces that we have to integrate, and I think we showed what this team is capable of doing in a short time notice. Because with injuries, you don't really know when it's going to happen or how. So you just have to stay ready, and I think we have a group of guys here that are always ready for whatever the league might throw in terms of us having injuries and stuff like that. So having a deep squad helps us a lot in games like these. But we also know that this is the playoff environment right now. These last 3 games that we've played so far are our playoff environment. Vancouver, Portland, and Salt Lake. It's going to be up to the details, up to the inches, and we got to maybe get better at finishing plays. I think that in the first half we had a couple of chances that anybody can miss at any moment. But when it comes to playoffs, we gotta get sharper on that, and I think the team knows that. The team is working towards that, and I think we're in a good spot.
It felt like you and Pedro were pretty free at times, almost interchange pockets. Did it feel like that? And how do you feel like you and Pedro kind of coexist there in the attacking?
Yeah, no, I think that's something that the coaching staff has been working on during the whole year. I think the more that the coaches give you that freedom, that trust, is when a player can get more comfortable doing that role. And so I think that Preki and the whole coaching staff has been working with us every week on following the press, on making sure that the pivots have way out, that the center backs are way out. And I think we showed out perfectly this game where me and Pedro one was higher, one was closer to the pivots. At times I was kind of low with JP and Danny higher. And so I think that's what makes us strong, is that interchangeable ability that we have, because we all have good feet in our team, and anybody can play that position. And so it was difficult for Salt Lake. You can tell that they didn't know who to mark, and so I think that being able to rotate out and in and still knowing each other's roles, because I think that's important. I think one of the things that they mentioned to us is like, you can interchange, but make sure that you study their role and know what they need to do in a defensive, just in case if we lose the ball, we have protection just in case. And so that trust goes a long way, because now you have that little freedom of to play kind of in the area where you're comfortable at, and help the team in the best way that you can.
You talked before about looking forward to playing with different players, in the sense, and JP and Danny Arthur. You kind of mentioned a little bit with that, but I mean, how was that? How did that feel for you personally out there with different?
No, it's awesome.
Players?
It's awesome. It's awesome because we have a guy like JP who has a lot of experience that demands a lot of the ball, runs the midfield, and he's like the engine of the midfield. And then you have a guy like Danny who is a style and touches, and it's great to be able to be around that, because that you're going to get a lot of touches and combination. And I think that in this game it showed the rotation between us three and the connection between us three to also move forward and integrate the wingers. It was great. And so it's exciting when you get to play with other guys, because then you develop other tools that maybe you're missing. And so getting a different look at different styles of play, different ways that you have to adapt to each person, and it's great to get better at that.
This New York match, simply because there's not anything necessarily on the line for you guys, what can you really get out of this last match of the regular season?
No, I think
hoping to get out.
No, I think this club plays for every game, and so we're going to go out there to New York and battle for the 3 points. We don't really care if it helps us or not. Obviously, it's mathematically there's nothing that happens, but we have to start thinking like playoffs time and show that we're here to business, and not just go out there and kind of just play half-ass in a way. We have to go out there and show what we can do, and whatever coach decides to do on that weekend, we're going to go and try to fight for the 3 points.
You guys are now guaranteed to play 47 matches across all competitions this year. How does that sort of change the dynamic out here when you guys have a deep roster, but knowing that everyone has played, everyone's gotten a lot of guys have gotten significant minutes?
Yeah, no, I think at the beginning of the season we knew it was going to be a long season and a tough season. and I think that the coaching staff has done a good job on making sure that everybody's fresh for the weekend, and I think that's what helps us. We got some guys maybe resting a little bit more than others, maybe some other guys are putting more work than others, but it's to all be at the same page. And so I think that for the weekend, we're all on the same page and ready to go. And so I think that knowing that, I didn't know that was 47, that's a lot of games, but yeah, you kind of start feeling it a little bit, but the maintenance that they're doing and the work that they're doing is amazing. And so knowing that, you can go in confidence that we're going to go into the game fresh, as fresh as we can be. And yeah, we're fighting for 3 points no matter what.
I'm going to hit you with another number. I think you have played in either 43 or 44 matches yourself, which I think is tied for the most on the team. Is that...
Crazy.
Yeah, are you surprised by that?
Yeah.
And how do you feel? And what's it like? I mean, I can't imagine you've ever probably come close to that many games.
No, I think the most was like 31 or 30 or 29. But no, it's amazing. I think a lot of questions at the beginning of the year was like, oh, is he going to come and is he going to be able to play games? Is his injuries going to be a problem? And I think that, the off season and leading on to this, there was decisions that had to be made in terms of maybe staying with the national team for January camp or coming early. And I think now looking at it, I think we made the right decision, just the national team camp and the coaching staff here, just to come early, get prepped, making sure that they know my body and I know how they work and get prepped for a long season. And it kind of shows that thank God that nothing has happened so far, nothing major. And we've been able to play, and obviously it goes back to the coaches having the trust in me and what I can do. Not just score, assist, but also defend. And so I think that's a huge part of why I have a lot of games. And wow, it's a lot of games.
Did you kind of, I mean, when you talk about, coming to this team, you're also talking about championships, winning, things like that. So did you have even that mindset that it could be a lot, like this could stack up?
Yeah, no, obviously coming in here, we know what type of club this is and what environment it is. It's each training you're gonna fight, each game you're gonna battle, and this is a winning club. And so this club is known to go far into playoffs, far into tournaments, and win. And so coming here, I knew that was the expectation, and that was the minimum. The minimum was to grind and win games and battle games and win championships. And so I didn't know it was going to take 47 games, maybe more. And so it's exciting. It's exciting to know that this is what it takes. And so now the whole club knows what we're capable of doing and what it takes to get there.
I'm working on a story about ice and just the just a lot of the international players, like their families and things like that, traveling around, concerns and whatnot. Is that anything, I don't know how much of your family is here, but is that anything that's been a concern or a thought of you and your family?
Yeah, no, I haven't studied a lot of that, so I'm not the right person to ask about that.
That's fine.
But obviously it's tough seeing, but I won't speak because I don't know
Cool.
much about it. So
that's fair.
Thank you.